What is up, and welcome back to Barbecue It. I'm your host Craig Kimberly, and today's exciting as heck because we are making the North Shore three-way. What is a North Shore three-way? Well, it's a roast beef sandwich exclusive here to New England, specifically the North Shore, which is about an hour from Boston on the coast. Now, there are beef sandwiches all over the world, but there's nothing like this. This is ours, it's unique, and it might seem strange to you, but I think you're gonna love it, and I hope you try it. And today is my very first time trying to make homemade roast beef as well. So you're gonna learn with me. Now here's pretty much what we're gonna need for today. Our beef, barbecue sauce, and yes, I said barbecue sauce, James River BBQ Sauce, mayo, American cheese, salt, pepper, and it's gotta be on a grilled onion. And we'll get to that as well. So as far as our beef goes today, we're actually going to do a slight taste test too, because I have what's very typical is the round eye, and then I have a bottom eye. The bottom is an Angus, and this is choice. So there's going to be two different quality levels to these, and there's different fat content in these, as you can see. So on our choice, not as much fat, but it's a good looking cut. This will make a terrible steak, and so will this, but it makes for great roast beef. And of course the Angus looks a little bit better, different cut. And what we got to do first is clean up the fat. Let's get to that. So the way this all came about, and kind of where I've been the last 2 years, is making beef videos on North Shore Beef's page, run by the great Andy Ferg, and here's a little glimpse of how that went. Holy shit. That's a stack, my friend. Are you kidding me? I'm already excited. The boys are getting together. What? Oh my. Proper crunch on the bun.
Super beef, Greg's Tavern.
A meager 9 and change, but that's not all pink. 9 to 7. Now you can see beefy back there. Woo!
I'm a fat guy. I love roast beef sandwiches.
That's surprisingly underwhelming flavor-wise. A little bit of multicolor. Wow! It's not terribly pink. 6'7". We'll go 6'7".
You wonder why I stay so sexy?
This is rubbish! 86. Oh my goodness!
Beef only for a king, isn't
A
it?
beef fit for a king. I just can't, I can't even bite it. Wow! Wow! I'm out here in these beef streets. Shall knight you! King of the beefs. Look at that thing. So much practice. Have some respect for North Shore beefs. It's been a lot of videos. So as you can see, people are obsessed with this sandwich. The group page is over 30,000. There'll be a link in the description if you want to join. I will give you a forewarning. There's a lot of rules. It's not a chat group. You can't post whatever you want. And they're very harsh. Up here in the north, we are very harsh. Let's just say one of the slogans is GFY, and it's something you do to yourself. So there you go. Want to join? At your own risk, please do. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to see if you have a North Shore roast beef sandwich near you, or if you live anywhere in the Northeast, let's get on and do some beef reviews, like we're gonna do at the end of this. But let's get to cleaning up this beef. All right, so start with the Angus. We're gonna remove a bunch of this fat cap that we don't need necessarily. We're gonna get this right down to the beef. So a good idea is to get under that fat if you can, and then it's like skinning a fish. And we're not gonna be doing anything beyond salt, pepper, and garlic. I really wanna just see what the beef's about instead of getting in there too fancy with flavorings and fresh herbs and fresh garlic. I'm gonna go with a roasted garlic. Basically all the fat, all the silver skin. This is really hard fat, some of this, so this wouldn't render even if you were like, yeah, I'll cook it on there. Don't do it. All right, that's enough for me with the Angus. That looks pretty good. The rest of that's gonna come out in the wash. All right, cool. Now for these, our choice. This is probably what you'll find a lot. Of course, the price difference, as you can see here. And yes, I found the Angus on sale, so that's why I kind of added it to the mix. I was just gonna do choice, really kind of start at the bottom, you know, and see what we could do with it. But once I saw it on Manager's Special or whatever, yeah, let's go for that. When you see beef and it starts to look gray a little bit like this, that's just oxidation. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to affect the flavor at all. This is still a gorgeous piece of meat. All right, so now that these are cleaned up, we're going to go in with salt, pepper, and roasted garlic. For the salt, this is Cape Ann sea salt. A really good friends of mine that make this right here in Cape Ann. It's solar dried. It's unbelievable. Link in the description. Once you start using this, you'll never use any other salt again. So we're going to start with that. And it's very coarse. And that's what I want for the crust. Really caught this cook on the end of the day. So the birds are chirping. The sun's going down, so I'm kind of racing with the sun, but we will get there. And now we'll go for the roasted garlic. Love this stuff. In the future, I'm going to be doing a different roast beef, also smoked, but it will have some fresh garlic and a few other things on there. That'll be kind of a special roast beef rub I'm working on. Come in with some fresh cracked pepper. Okay, grinder's off to the wash, and that looks pretty good. So let's talk about time, temperature, and technique. All right, so we're all rubbed up. We're gonna let that sit. Now the pit is going, not these pits. I'll show you in a second. We're not cooking on the 22s. Time, temperature, and technique. Time, about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how long these take to cook. We're gonna get them to about 130. No, actually probably about 125. There'll be some carryover. I don't want it to be, I really want rare, put it that way. So probably about 3 hours. Temperature, 225, 250. Technique, offset, smoker on this. Woo, and there she is, boy. You know it. I've been wanting this bad boy for a minute, and now she's on set. That's the Weber Kamado. I think they just call it the Kamado now, but it is an amazing machine. If you've seen the video below, I did a video. Actually, I'll put it at the end of this video, a link. But I did a video on this, and I just died over it, and I really wanted it, and now I have it. And I'm really excited to cook my first long smoke of beef rounds on here for a North Shore three-way. Let's go. This was my first cook with the Blues Hog briquettes, and I gotta say they performed well. For a fire starter, I'm using the Tumbleweeds fire starter by Royal Oak. Light that puppy up after you spread it out. It will really catch quick. This is about 1/3 of a chimney. I let it get all the way hot. About 2/3 of a chimney, more charcoal. Toss on some wood. I like to use pecan in this smoke, or was it cherry? I can't remember. Put the deflector plate in, shut the lid, and what do you know? Up to temp. Let's get our meat on. And of course, let's put a probe in one of these to kind of keep track, and then I'll also just kind of periodically check with the other ones. But there we go. Smoke's rolling, 225, let's hit it. So one of the key ingredients to an authentic North Shore roast beef has to be the onion roll for the super. There's a junior, which is usually a regular bun, sometimes a seeded bun, sometimes a brioche. Then there's a what's called a regular sometimes, or a big beef. Then there's the super beef. Super beef is usually about a pound to a pound and 2 or 3 ounces plus. So about like 19 ounces of beef. So what I have here is gorgeous sweet onion rolls that I got from the market basket. We're just gonna slice these open. And a proper roast beef has to be griddled correctly. So of course we're gonna throw a little bit of butter into our grill, which has, where we have a skillet waiting that's already hot. Let's get some butter going in there. Oh, that's gorgeous. We'll at least get 1.5 going and get the rest toasted up. So yeah, just keep an eye on that and you'll have your perfectly griddled bun. Oh, there we go. That looks good. Oh, that looks perfect. There we go. Buns are ready. Beef's coming out. Then we'll assemble our sandwiches. Quick chef tip. I always spritz the meat about every 20 minutes just with water to keep it moist. All right, these first two are done. That's the Angus. So let's move this thermostat. Move this probe over here. So the Angus and one of the other rounds, the choice, are done. So let's get these off and over onto the cutting board. They look gorgeous. Voila. Okay, so I'm really losing my light. I'm gonna jump the gun and get in here and slice into these and see what they taste like, and let's build a sandwich. Now, I figured not everybody has a roast beef slicer or a meat slicer at home, so we're gonna go by hand, and as you know, we're gonna try to get it as thin as possible. All right, so let's go with the choice one first. Here, we'll go ahead and let me make sure it's on camera because I'm losing the sun. Let's cut the face off this and see what it looks like on the edge. Oh, that is beautiful. That is just gorgeous. Oh, that's soft and tender. That is soft and tender. Woo! Look at that in the sunlight. Oh my gosh. All right, let's taste test this one right away. Tender as could be. Seasoning's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Wow, that was really good. This better be better. All right, what we're gonna do is cut this in half. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and cut it in half and have the ooh-ah of that effect. This is the Angus. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If you notice, it's the same color from edge to edge, pulled at 128 degrees. Sat for 6 minutes at this point, but oh my God, that is absolutely what you're looking for. That is the color. All right, let's get assembling here. Well, let's do our Angus taste test first. And our other beef is at 121 already. Can you see that, folks? Can you see that in the light? Oh. Wow. Shocked myself. That is fantastic. Okay, let's get assembling. There's very few specific things here. Going to be an official North Shore three-way. You can't screw this up. James River sauce, because it has to be James River. Mayonnaise, it can be any mayonnaise. Around here it's Cane's. For me, it's Hellman's. That's kind of my jam. Now, and with the way they serve them in the restaurants around here, the mayonnaise they have is that heavy-duty stuff that you get at Restaurant Depot, so it's not quite the same. It's a little bit sturdier of a mayonnaise. Gotta be Jimmie, gotta have mayo. Oh, start with the American cheese. So let's slice. These both taste so similar and so good. Oh, that's a nice slice. All right, so obviously what I'm trying to do here is slice this as though I was a human slicer and get a nice, oh, I'm getting nice curls off of that. That's restaurant grade. I mean, I should have invited some of the boys. That's what they're gonna say. Say something down in the comments, fellas. Should have invited you for this, but I'll do another one for the North Shore beefs. Maybe just the MVBs. Just the folks that have been the most valuable beefer. Maybe that happened, maybe that didn't. But yeah, that would be a fun crew to have over. Plus everyone else, there's such a huge crew. All right, that is gorgeous. Now let's slice some of the other round. This is so beautiful. I'm beside myself excited. Get a hold of that thing. Wow. Hard to do thin slices, but it's working out. These are coming out really well, actually. So I think that the Angus one looks a little bit pinker, and the outside color has a more beautiful kind of smoked. All right, let me just one more taste, see if I can actually say if one was better than the other. Okay. The Angus one is beefier. I'll give it that. Angus one is beefier. All right, so we start official North Shore three-way with, here, let's make room and do it up here. Bottom. Now, you can decide to put mayo here first, but we go cheese first. Cheese is always on the bottom. That's the way it goes. Next, you stack your roast beef. And I'm gonna do a combination of both of these. I might have enough actually from the Angus, let's see. I won't do the nah. That's pretty sturdy right there. That is how that's supposed to go. You know what? It's a North Shore beef. The fellas are gonna rip me if I don't make it an actual giant. As some of the real giants, like Bella's and Tessie's, Jamie's. All right, and so here you go. James River, it has to be James River sauce. If you serve a beef in New England, in the North Shore, without James River, you've screwed up. No one's gonna come back to your establishment. Nobody cares if you can make a great barbecue sauce. This is what they want on it, period. That's it. Now, some shops do specialty beefs, and those are incredible. But if you're serving up beefs, you better have some James River. All right, so let's hit that with a little Jimmie. Oh, and that's what they do. That's what they do up here. You guys know what's up. And then we're gonna hit it with a little mayo on top of that. I'm gonna go light with this, don't need a ton. And make room. Pow. And look at that, folks, as that oozes. Let me come around, make sure I get a good shot of that. Oh, look at that thing. That is a work of art. All right, let's get back over here. You don't order your sandwich cut ever. So I won't cut it. No, I will cut it. I have to cut it. You have to see what's going on in here. I'm so torn. We don't cut our sandwiches. We eat them. But for all those other people that want to see what she looks like, wow. There she is. Absolutely beautiful North Shore roast beef. Mmm. The double cheese is a lot of cheese. It kind of doubles up there a little bit. I'm shocked. So tender. Bun's crispy. Cheese is on the bottom. Mayo's on the top. Just enough amount of Jimmie. Some of it's all over the place. That's how we like it. So I'm gonna score this because that's what we do on the North Shore Beef page. We score this. And it's not quite there yet, so I'm gonna give this like an 8. It's like a 7, 9, or an 8. So when we come back and do this again, it's gotta be a 10. Look, I mean let me get this back in the sunlight since it's lost its spotlight. Oh, and there you have it, folks, the stars of the show. The beef, whether it's the choice or the Angus, it's gonna be outstanding. 225, it held it. It cooked just at about, it was under 2 hours actually. The first 2 parts came out just under 2 hours, but it's really close to that. This one's gonna be out right now. It's at 123. And you know, put what you want on it, but this is the North Shore roast beef. Join the page, come on back. Let me get you back in the sunlight, honey. There you go. And thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell. That will let you know when videos are coming. And of course, liking it tells the algorithms that, you know, that we're back. So let's kick it. All right, thanks for watching Barbecue It.